Hello, Internet denizens, welcome! Finally, I'm going to reveal to you Apple's 2019 Mac Pro, right here, now, after this. Welcome back, denizens. Well, do I really have the scoop on the new 2019 Mac Pros? No, I don't. I'm sorry, but I have my imagination, and it's been too long. They promised the Mac Pros back, 2017, and they still haven't got anything out yet, and my brain is getting fevered and hot and thinking about things, including computers, and of course Apple could just throw all these components, CPUs and power supplies and RAM and stuff into a box. I mean, that's what we do when we build Hackintoshes. It's not so hard, and we build Hackintoshes that are faster than anything that Apple makes, and they're not thermal throttled, but I don't want to get into that. Yes, that's Apple complaining. I don't want to do any Apple complaining except for the fact that where is the Mac Pro? How hard is it to build it? I don't get it. I mean, obviously, as I said in a previous video, Apple is trying to do something special, you know, the Silicon Graphics computer of its era. And then I started thinking, like, what is it that's going to be so special? What's taking so long? Why? What are we waiting for? Then I had an idea, bing, right, a bulb above my head that I got it. I now know what Apple is going to build, and I'm going to tell you, I know for sure as someone who has no idea that what Apple is going to do, but this is my idea, and I'd like your thoughts as to whether you think I'm right or not. Again, just based on two clues here. Number one, Apple's Apple, and they don't want to do anything normally, and they talked about workflow. Three things they don't want to do normally: workflow, and that it's going to be modular, not expandable. Okay, so that's a very important clue. So what is kind of modular out there? Okay, the Mac Mini. This is not really a Mac Mini. It's just a piece of paper, so don't get fooled by it. Now, it's not even the proper size and dimension, but you get the idea. This is a representative of a Mac Mini, and I thought, okay, this is kind of a modular idea. What if the new Mac Pro was based on the Mac Mini concept? So I printed some stuff up, and I need to cut it out. Don't go away. This is going to be worth it, I promise you. No peeking. Wow, this is harder work than I thought. Okay, everything is prepared, and so here is my idea for the new 2019 Mac Pro. I'll absolutely bet you that it could be this. Who knows? But this is my idea, because it's got to be crazy, and it's got to be different, and it's got to be Apple-like. So following along the idea of using the Mac Mini as the conceptual starting point, we've got a Mac Mini, but we've got your power supply. Okay, you start with the power supply. Then on top of that, you stack your RAM. Now, do you see these little black slot things? So there's pins on the bottom of this that fit right into there. So that is there. There you go. So you've started your Mac Pro stack, but this isn't enough. Like so what would you put on afterwards? Well, you'd put RAM, and you know, in true Apple fashion, this isn't expandable. So you have to buy this module with the pre-prescribed amount of RAM that you want. So you can get the 16 gigabyte module, or the 32 gigabyte module, or the 1 terabyte module, but these are not upgradable. You have to decide ahead of time what it is that you're going to get. But the nice thing about this, well, it's not nice at all, really. It's kind of stupid. But the idea here is that if you want to upgrade from 16 gigabytes to 32 gigabytes, and maybe there's somebody out there on Kijiji or Craigslist who's got a 32 and wants to trade and wants to go up, and so you can just sort of like trade and buy and upgrade like that. But Apple will not let you upgrade these. The RAM will be soldered into this, okay? But it's modular. Again, that's the key. It's not expandable, it's modular. So the next thing that you're probably going to want to have is a, like your boot drive. Your boot drive and storage. And I didn't make a bunch of these, but I mean, you can have like more than one of these. But right now, that's your boot drive, and this is already getting horrible. So I gotta stick this down. Just a second. Hold on. Where's the tape? Where's the tape? Oh, there it is. Okay. So tape that together, and then we put the. It's going to be much easier when Apple actually delivers it than just. They won't be taping the different things together, I don't think. After this, they're going to want the GPU, and then they'll give you options of buying higher end GPUs. They won't give you NVIDIA, and maybe someone else will make a third-party NVIDIA, module. But right now, then this will go up to Vega. So we'll take the GPU down firmly. We don't want anything, bad to happen to the GPU. And then, of course, you want ports. So normally the ports here, well, they're going to be backwards. So I'm just thinking that maybe a third party will build a module that has got front-facing ports, which would be really novel for Apple. It's not something Apple really does ever anymore. So the innovation here is front-facing ports. It can be done. We can bring them back. Oh, look at that. It's USB-A plugins and an SD card slot. Oh my God. Oh, what a novel idea! Accessible plug-in-y stuff. Yeah, that's important. So then you can do some optional cool things. So let's say you do a DVD burning and CD burning still, like I do. Well, then you can add that to the stack. And you're going to obviously, if you're doing audio editing, then you can add this digital analog converter. And then you'll add that to the stack. And then let's say you've got some old video decks and you want to control them, so you can have like controllers in this. This would be something that a third party would add to the stack using the special connector device, which Apple is going to charge you extra to license. Then of course you need backup, right? Backup. So there we go. So you got your backup drive. There you go. Isn't that cool? So that's your MacPro stack. MacPro stack. That's kind of cool, isn't it? MacPro stack. Stack those MacPro items. And of course, you can add extra SSDs and things like that into the stack. But you can see that we still are finished. We're not finished nicely. I mean, Apple would never, would never let you have a Mac Pro with like an open slot like this. So they will have invented, Apple will have invented, you have to buy this, there's no choice, called the Apple Cap, because Apple's full of cap. And they'll mandatory to put this on just to cover up the slot, and that is going to be, maybe $500 on its own. So there you go. Pretty cool, eh? And then look how it looks next to your computer. Isn't that awesome? There it is. And you can put any kind of thing in there without having to open it up, which is, I think, is what Apple is looking for. That's my prediction, is that Apple's going to have a stackable, modular Mac Pro. I really have no idea. But on the other hand, based on everything I know about Apple and all the Macs that I have owned, Mac Pros I've owned over the years, I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that it might be this weird. I don't think anyone out there would put it past Apple. So that's what I'd like you to tell me. Do you think this is too weird for Apple to create as a Mac Pro? Well, thank you very much for watching and listening to me talk. Till next time, Internet denizens. So long.